go-home show on Chaos to House of Horrors. We've had quite a few eventful weeks of chaos. It's been chaotic, no pun intended. It has been a little heartbreaking, but it's also been a whole lot of fun. And now that we are closer than ever to House of Horrors, it should be even more fun. Well, Kiara Carter doing a great job as the Women's Global Champion. And I'm excited to hear all of the plans that she has to go, especially going into House of Horrors. I'm excited for it all. You can never complain about some championship reign like this, man. Honor and glory. It's a whole different point of view if you're watching Raphael and the champion, and they're from the same family. But as we continue on the night, Christina May has arrived onto the scene. Former national champion. We know she's going into House of Horrors set up with a steel cage match against Jericho, and that is going to be a scary one. There is no part of me that doubts Christina May, but there's also no part of me that doubts Jericho. Knowing, who Jericho is, what she's been through, and how she operates, the steel cage is kind of in favor of Jericho. I know what Christina's trying to do, but at the same time, she kind of played right into her hands, It's kind of a lose-lose either way, so I guess Christina has to weigh her options and say, hey, which one do I have a better chance against? When people interfere or when I'm all alone in a cage with her? And I guess 10 times out of 10, she'd probably choose the cage, so I can't exactly blame her, but at the same time, like I said, lose-lose situation. She's got to find a way to overcome the odds either way here against Jericho going into House of Horrors, and to do that, it's going to take a lot, but if anybody can do it, it is one of the ghosts of the company, Christina May. I don't doubt her for a second. Well, Brad Crimson has a bow. Regardless of the fact that, obviously, I think he wants to be on good terms with Isaiah Draco. That just can't be the case right now. It really can't. With everything that's going on in the Empire, with what we've seen over the last few weeks from Isaiah Draco, you can't really make peace with a guy who... you can't make peace with somebody else who doesn't want to make peace. It's as simple as that, really. So, Crimson's going to have to do what he does best, and that's fight it out. And to be fair, that's fine. I mean, what else did he come to this company for? He's a wrestler, for God's sake. Of course he's going to fight it out. And Isaiah Draco can learn the price of that very soon. We saw them face off last week in a one-on-one match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Chesapeake, Virginia, weighing in at 268 pounds, Brad Crimson!
And with that being the case, he went up, you know, I mean, we saw what happened, right? He beat Isaiah clean, and then Isaiah, after the match, went a little nuts, took him out, final destinations over and over, slammed his shoulder in the turnbuckle, and ended up biting Isaiah in the ass a little as he, you know, kind of banged his foot up against the turnbuckle, but at the end of the day, Isaiah still lived on. He got the upper hand on Brad, he stood tall, and, well, Brad still won the match, and a rematch takes place here tonight. Especially with Brad having all the opportunities that he's going to. He's now helping Paul out with the Empire. We know Paul is probably going to end up facing off against Daniel Carter at House of Horror. So, you know, what's Brad going to do? Maybe it's Isaiah Draco. But you got it here tonight, so we'll see where this goes. If Isaiah can even the odds, or maybe karma comes back to bite him in the ass again. Got to be one way or another.
And his opponents from Dallas, Texas, weighing in at 257 pounds,
Isaiah Draco arrived onto the scene once again here versus Brad Crimson. And he's had some controversial things lately regarding his match with Paul on week 1 in tribute to Vaughn Jacobs, so on and so forth. We've seen, of course, what he did last week. You know, it's not the greatest look for him. He's really taken himself down a wrong path here, and I know a lot of that has to do with, you know, Raphael and whatnot, and maybe it's just gotten so in his head that he's used to it. He don't even know the difference between the right and wrong anymore when it comes to that, at least. You know, I'm sure he's got some sort of moral compass, but I mean, definitely lost a lot of it. I mean, if you compare him to, you know, year 1 and 2, it is such a vast difference. Year 1 and 2, Isaiah's probably looking at year 3, 4, 5, Isaiah, like, bro, what are you doing? You're turning into a mess. And that is the case right now. Isaiah might be a mess, but he's going to do everything he can to win this match, mess or not. And Brad Crimson's going to do the exact same thing. We saw him on week 1 as well. He had a beautiful tribute match against Paul Mysterious for Sadie Blood, and I mean, he took Paul to the limit, that's for sure. He made him work very, very, very hard for it, and it was a beautiful, beautiful match that those two were able to put on. And of course, last week on Chaos, Brad getting a win against Isaiah Draco, and he looks to do it again tonight. Isaiah is yet to pick up his first victory this year. He lost both of his matches here going into the year. On week 1 against Paul, on week 2 against Brad. And could he go 0-3 tonight? Or can he finally vindicate it and get himself a win here in year 5? Crimson from the ground. Grabs Isaiah Draco up. Isaiah able to counter. Falcon arrow. Beautifully done by Draco. Well, that's certainly a way to counter. And a right hand for good measure. Draco in control as Brad tries to crawl himself to the corner with some leverage. Back elbow as Isaiah is able to run through to the middle rope now. Isaiah first up. Boom! A back elbow to the spine. Creative and deadly. Beautifully done by Isaiah Draco. I will give him props when props are due. Rolling elbow connects as well. Isaiah right back to his feet goes Brad Crimson. He slips out of it though. That suplex can't land. Brad now going to target each limb. One to the hand and one to the spine. Straight to the hand of Draco. That one hurt. I can feel my fingers tingling. And now Crimson. And Isaiah rolls outside of the ring. He's going to hop off the rope. Here comes Brad. Jumping on Hilo. Isaiah was not ready. back in the ring. Brad Crimson. For the top. Cross body. Hooks the leg. It's a cover by Brad for the win. Oh, a kick out by Isaiah Draco. Trying to stay alive for as long as possible, and he doesn't successfully with a kick to the head. Isaiah runs in. Big shoulder block. Tackling him. And Brad goes all the way down. Isaiah off the rope. Float over. Neck breaker for good measure. And now the ground and pound can begin. We saw him do it after his match last week on top of it. And it was certainly successful in both opportunities. They're very confident at the moment, very cocky even, and we know how that can be a bad thing for people, especially with Brad Crimson. You know, he always says it himself, you waste your time taunting, it's going to come back to bite you, and a lot of the times that is the case. Isaiah doesn't want that to be the case for him tonight. A right hand, he still is able to land it though. Isaiah in control when it matters the most. Not for long though. Brad pushing him off. Isaiah back to his feet. Caught with a face breaker by Crimson. He grabs him up from behind. Oh my God, dropping him right on the back of his head. Brad Crimson. And that is exactly what I was talking about. He don't like when people do that. And you can imagine he wouldn't like when somebody does it to him. Certainly wasn't in good spirit, that's for sure. Isaiah with the right, countered by Brad. Back the other way. Back again. They countered back and forth, opportunity for opportunity. Brad and Isaiah trading blows. Who's gonna come out on top? Brad with the right. Isaiah with the right. Brad with the right. A right. Alternating forearm. Crimson gonna take him into the off the rope with speed. Duck under. Isaiah is able to counter. Brad with a beautiful German. Sequence back and forth. Brad comes out on top. Lifts him up. Rotilda bomb from the deadlift position. Phenomenal work by Crimson. And we are certainly far from done. Crimson math. Isaiah's able to move out of the way just in time. And he's got him hooked up instead. Arrow on floor. Covered by Isaiah. No. Isaiah Draco landing a big, crucial move, but he has taken a very similar beating. Just like Brad Crimson as he runs in. Corner! Oh my God! Brad Crimson! Isaiah just got sent to the stars, man. He just got sent to the stars. Oh wait! Final destination! Out of absolutely nowhere! And now with every last bit of energy left in his tank after getting actually destroyed with that super kick, both men are down and they finally get back to their feet. Gas, hurt, and it comes down to this here in their rematch. Brad with a huge strike to the gut. Isaiah will go back with his right and Brad with one of his own. Isaiah with the right. I think we get trading blows to see who will come up with the better striking game for one another. Isaiah with a big right. Brad tells him to bring it on and he catches him with a right of his own and another one. Crimson. A huge strike to the jaw. And here we go. Good old hockey fight as Crimson would say. Or I'm avoiding it. Isaiah goes for the leg, then he takes him out. But all the energy exerted, he goes back down to the ground and Brad escapes. Barely went in the corner. Oh my God! Final destination! Propped up in the corner. Isaiah Draco! He runs in! Oh! Crimson mask! Incredible! Brad from the corner of Crimson Blade! It's all that's left! Brad! Oh my God! What the hell? Brad of Draco! Oh my God! You gotta be kidding me! when the moment was worth. Rafael Draco had to get himself involved. A spear out of nowhere. We ended a disqualification. Draco over and over with the chair, assaulting Brad. Brad's gonna try to roll his way out of this. I think he might have had it in the bag, but Rafael, I mean, they talked about it. Isaiah said, hey, if I need help, can you assist me? And Raph said yes, and that's exactly what he did. Staying true to his word for one. No! Crimson Blade! He's not out of it yet! Rafael around the bend! Bradley's over his spear! Draco's now the one in trouble! Brad back in the ring. Draco trying to escape, but he's caught! Tilt-up bomb! It's gotta heal! Oh, so good! Crimson crawling his way back up. There's no energy left inside of him, but he's doing what he can to make his mark. Crimson from the corner lines him up. Oh, just when he was going for the Crimson Blade, Isaiah Draco to the rescue, pulling Rafael out of the ring. The brothers stick together, and it makes it oh so much harder for Brad Crimson. An unsatisfying end to a rematch. God! Speaking of which, the Hulk Rock Blonde! What are y'all doing? We just saw them move clean last week! And here they are again with cockroaching! Dueling with the Sunray and the Taylor kick! The Hulk Rock Blonde shattering the Dodgers interview! These salty motherfuckers! Good Lord. Feels like it's never ending with these two. I feel like that's always how it's been throughout their whole careers, and it stays that way here tonight. But as we continue on, the global champion Igor Volkov makes his way onto the scene. We saw what has been happening over the last couple of weeks. We saw on Chaos Week 1 when he had that open challenge and Matthew Cade was the one to come out and accept it, but didn't seem to go super well. I don't even mean that necessarily towards Igor, because Matthew was getting his ass beat, and he disqualified himself by throwing a whole ass chair at him. I couldn't tell you why he did that. Igor Rokov's ultimate goal is, in a way, to prove to himself that he's still worthy. I think it's a little different than that. Like, I'm sure he knows, but the fact that it's been so long, I think he just wants to prove to himself that he's still got it. That nothing has changed from 3 years ago. That he's still the guy that everybody thinks he is, that he still says he is. And that is the most dominant global champion of all time, or one of the most dominant champions in the company's history. And with that being the case, Matthew Cage is kind of getting in the way of that. That's a kind of a crazy person to like get in the way, but it's not even Igor's fault. Matthew's a little vermin. He's quick. He can finally outrun Igor, unlike unlike a few years ago. I remember that. I think that's exactly the case. He just wants to show to himself that he's still got it. And with Matthew Cage running around like a bat out of hell, it's kind of hard to do that. But one way or another, he can't run forever. Yep, as expected, huh? I mean, he said it, he warned him. He said, if you don't come out, I'm gonna come find you. And they didn't come out, so Igor's gonna go find him. He is one man to take matters into his own hands, as we've seen many times in the past. And Matthew Cage is one to do the opposite and try to avoid problems at all costs. Because, oh my God! Well, there he is! The little vermin! He was hiding the whole time! He's got a hockey stick! He don't even know how to use it! He's like a Maple Leaf player! Oh no! Shotgun knee! What? What did he say? Oh, you gotta work on your wording. Volkov, once again, left without a conclusion. It's gotta be getting old, man. He's just getting pissed off, and you don't want to piss him off of all people. Well, isn't that just fantastic news? Brad Quinton, Rafael Draco, and House of Horrors. Isn't it just a dream come true? And it's great that Stephanie has taken initiative like that. Putting her out to work. He's the champion. That's what he should be doing. Get to work, buddy. Defend your damn title. But to continue on, Ayla Quinn arrives on Chaos. She's got a match tonight against Madison Ivy, returning back to the scene.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Well, Ayla, she is having herself a rough start to this year. We saw her return last week. It was against Casey Dixon, and yeah, she ended up losing. And I think that was about expected. I think most people expected Casey to win that match. It was by roll-up, which makes it even worse. She was going for a roll-up, then she got rolled up. So we're gonna maybe vindicate that a little tonight against Madison Ivy. Because she is certainly one of the most talented people on this roster. I don't think anybody can disagree with that. At least in-ring wise, she is amazing. I mean, she has great matches almost every time she steps out into the ring, and while maybe she can't quite put together all the wins in the world, she is a joy to watch. And I think that is special in and of itself. But I think she looks to maybe transition that into a win tonight. I think she kind of needs it, especially going solo for the first time in her career. I feel like this is something she definitely wants. Also, name one other person that is Canadian from Winnipeg and just like resides in Chicago. Like you can't. Like it's. She's part of a. We're not even. You know. Madison Ivy, welcome back to PCW.
And her opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Madison Ivy.
Last time we saw Madison was at the Garden Super Show Series where she faced Amber Bell and ended up picking up a victory over her. And before that, I want to say the last time we saw her was, I mean, maybe it was during like the Battle Royale. I can't quite remember. But the last time I personally remember seeing her was SummerSlam Year 4, where Zoe Bull got a giant victory over Madison Ivy. I think that's the last time she was featured in a prominent role. She may have had maybe a match here and there that I'm not quite remembering. Maybe she was in the Mania Battle Royale. I don't quite remember. But whatever the case is, she returned here tonight. I'm happy for her. While she's not the most fan favorite person ever, I think she's got a good heart, a good spirit. She definitely became a little more likable here over the last, I guess the time we've been gone, especially against Amber Bell. You can just see that there's a little bit of a change, and I love her new look, new hairstyle, new everything, rejuvenating herself. But she started off this match very hot. She kicked the shit out of Ayla. Forgot to mention that. So Ayla's already getting her head chopped off. I just, you know, what do I even say? Madison off the rope for speed. Coming in with a boot. Straight across the face of Ayla. The weed signs are multiplying. Look in the crowd. Yo, how is that allowed in the building? Oh, my lord. Down goes Ayla. Madison is just kind of making an example out of her right now. I don't feel great about this. I'm not like rooting against Madison or anything. It's just poor Ayla. That's all I have. Boom! Huge drop kick soaring through the rope. Madison Ivy just. Has Ayla even hit a move yet? I think she's just been getting kind of like pummeled the whole time. So that's a little sad. Madison perched on the top rope. She comes in. Huge knee drop. Straight to the cranium. Who the fuck says cranium? Why did I say that? Madison! Oh, Ayla back close out of it though. Here we go! Hurricane Rana! Ayla getting a little bit of offense. There you go. Congratulations. Raise the banner. Kick to the midsection, trapped in the corner. Here we go. Ayla, rapid kicks in the corner. And then Madison down into the mat. Off the rope, boom! Cannonballs herself into the corner and just like against Casey, beautiful combination from Ayla for the win, and a kick out by Madison. Oh, Ayla right back in the offense. Punted the shit out of her nose. Mixed reaction from the crowd. Some people like her, some people don't. Seems to be about the Narrative all around the world. And Madison Ivy with a big rolling elbow right back the other way. Madison raking her face with her boot. Off the rope. Boom! Right across the face. Now to the middle rope here in the top. Madison Ivy once again. Big elbow. Straight into the midsection. Covered by Madison Ivy for the win. Ayla's able to power out once again. But she is certainly on the receiving end of a lot of offense here. She does not have the advantage. No doubt about it. It's been like 70-30. Maybe 80-20 with the offense. Ayla's not done much, but Madison trying to stay on top of her. Into the corner. Madison Ivy. Boom! Beautiful hook. Pump kick. Almost like a heel to the back of the head, if you will. Madison Ivy doing a great job of remaining the one in control. And that has to do with a lot of the experience of being a champion a couple times in her past. Madison Ivy's done a lot of things back in the day, and it's showing here tonight. But Ayla, a little speed demon, coming back off the rope, slamming her head against the mat, and an angel's cry out of nowhere. And just like that, Ayla might have a chance to get back in this. She goes to the top. Could be looking for a fallen angel. No! Powerbomb counter. Madison Ivy's not going to make it that easy. Ivy with Ayla grounded and alone. In trouble. Bang! Straight to the face. Covered by Madison Ivy. No! Oh my goodness, it was a late one though. Ayla barely keeping herself in it. I don't know how much she's really got left in the tank. Madison's just dog walking her right now. Ivy has her up. Ayla gets out of the backside. Big knee to the spine, and Ayla goes down. She is so fatigued and... Oh, wait a second. Right back to her feet. With a break. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fallen angel attempt, and once again gets planted. Almost caught Madison. Sleeping on that one. Into the corner. Madison Ivy. Forearm to the spine. One to the back. And a second. And a third. Back shots from Madison Ivy. To the top. Ivy grabbing hold of her. Neck first. Inverted superplex. She's looking for a poison boot in the corner, but Ayla wisely rolling to the ropes to avoid getting caught with a nasty poison boot. And she's able to escape from the rope. Rolling elbow, connect. Oh, angel cry. Beautifully done by Ayla. And suddenly she's right back in it. She remembers what she's got to do. Madison Ivy is absolutely vulnerable right here. Off the rope. Oh, no! Right to the head. What a counter just in time. Madison Ivy. Just when you least expect it, and here it comes. Poison boot. Ayla moves out of the way. Rolling elbow connect. Grabbing her leg. She's got her up this time. Wheelbarrow turns around. Neck breaker. Ayla fired up and ready to go. Got her right back to her feet. She goes off the rope and gets caught again. Wheelbarrow suplex. She gotta learn to stop going off the ropes, man, against Madison Ivy. She apparently knows how to counter these things perfectly. Shining Wizard to the back of the head. And Ayla learned her lesson that time. Don't run off the rope. Actually, don't run at her at all. Run away from her. Madison's got her hooked up. Look at this. It's been so long. Tombstone lung blower. Ayla is... No, wait, she's alive. Ayla kicked out. I thought that was it. Wow. I will tell you, I didn't expect that. But they're getting destroyed even after the kick out. I don't even know if it was worth it to kick out at this point. I don't know if it was out of stubbornness or determination, but either way, she is not getting back in this thing. Not very well, at least. Another one, Ayla countered! Sweeps the leg! Ayla assaulted her foot, trying to keep her down and maybe trying to mess up her foot a little. I mean, a lot of her offense has to do with her legs, so wouldn't be a dumb thing to do, that's for sure. And Angel's Cry in the corner. Beautifully done. The variations are shining. Ayla once again. Angel's Cry to the spine. But to the other corner. Ayla's just going to keep piling on the offense. Once again. Angel's Cry. It's smart. Keep on doing it until she can't get up anymore on her own. Ayla puts her against the rope. Off the rope. Another one! Good Lord! Ayla just landing her with Angel's Cry after Angel's Cry. My Lord, in the corner. Hits over and over again. She gets placed up high. Piling on that offense. To the top. Uh-oh, this could be bad for Madison! Oh! From the sky to the floor. Madison Ivy in deep trouble. Ayla off the rope. Another one! Angel's Cry! That's gotta be like 4 in a row, 5 in a row. I think it's 5. Covered by Ayla for the win. No, Madison kicked out. She's got to be livid. She's got to be livid. I'm surprised that didn't end it. Ayla coming right back in, a knee. I told you to stop running at Madison. Roller by Ivy. Not again. Not again. Not again with the roller. No! Ayla, you fool! You fool! Madison Ivy with a huge win!
Here is your winner, Madison.
That's the second time in 2 matches that she's lost to a roller. Ayla, honey, what are you doing? I mean, aside from that, huge win. Welcome back, Madison Ivy. Joyce Carter on the harsh end of Rafael Dracula, who's seen so many times in the past. I mean, he's been kind of on her for as long as I think anybody can really remember, but Joyce Carter, regardless of what Rafael thinks, has done what she thinks is best for her. And I think that's all that matters. Well, like, she made a good point. What was she supposed to do? Just, like, not win the match? Oh, I don't want to face you. Let me just throw myself over the rope. I mean, like, who would do that, all right? Who would do that? Even the Quabos didn't do that, for God's sake. So I don't think that's a valid argument. Joyce did what Joyce had to do. That was win the match and get herself one of the biggest opportunities of her career. And she would regret it for a long, long time if she didn't take it. But the logic doesn't really apply. It's easy to be on her side here, without a doubt. But the only other thing about it is, she is facing Kagetsu. That's where the tough part comes in, you know? It's like she should not take the opportunity, but now that she has taken the opportunity, good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Yep, good luck. But it is a face-to-face here tonight. And here comes the Prime Minister, the final boss, Kagetsu. the deadliest woman in the industry, arrives on Chaos once more. We saw her, make that announcement on week 1 that there would be a battle royale on week 2. Number 1 contender to determine her opponent at House of Horrors. And again, it ended up being Joyce Carter, and they had an exchange of words last week after the match. And with that being the case, they come back here today for one final exchange of words before House of Horrors. And while I fear for Joyce's safety, I also admire the confidence. To get to have beaten so many people in her career. Lacey Lewis, Kat Easley, Nadia Hunter, Mayu Iwatani, the Archangel, Madison Ivy, the list goes on and on and on. She has beaten some of the best this company has ever had to offer in its entire history. And that is important at the end of the day. It shows the experience. It shows that there are levels to this. It shows that nobody is on the level that could get to it. Because she is the final boss. Oh my lord. Kagetsu is one of the best talkers in the industry, and it surely proves tonight. Heart said a word, and maybe an awakening for Joyce Carter. Make your move while you have the advantage. Oh my God, but hang on. The sit back up. Two groups of TXT, A and B. Ava and Ani stomping out the tag team champion. Barely getting back to their feet. Why are they waiting? They stopped. Oh no. I am terrified for Alice. I don't understand why she did that. You can't do that. You just can't. Katie Bell says she will remember that, and that is the most threatening thing somebody under the mask of Alpha can say to you. I don't know what is. Alice may have just made a grave mistake. I sincerely do not mean to make a pun with that. But show must go on, and as we continue on, the Women's Global Champion Kiara Carter arrives onto the scene tonight, and we know it's open challenge after open challenge, baby. It's always gonna be. He said, no, I'm just gonna go out there and I expect somebody to come out. She doesn't even plan on talking. She just plans on fighting. So with that being the case, who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be anybody? Has to be. I mean, look at the opportunities you have here to become a champion. Who wouldn't take that, for God's sake? Apparently Raphael, but he already is a champion. But if he wasn't, boy's a coward. I'll tell you what. But Kiara Carter tonight, looking to defend her championship again successfully. She did it against Casey Dixon before, and she did it against Angelica Lopez. She looks to continue that trend tonight here on Chaos Week 3. The question begs, who is going to be her opponent? What? That can't be right. That can't be right. What the hell is she doing? Ayla Quinn! We just saw her literally not that long ago, earlier in the night, facing off against Madison Ivy, and she got whooped for the most part. Why is she coming out? She's not even half dressed for this. I think she was planning on leaving the arena. But she comes back for this. Look at her shoes. She has her walking shoes on. She don't even have her boots on. Well, Ayla Quinn, I guess in accepting the open challenge, I couldn't tell you why, but I guess I did say it a moment ago. Who wouldn't accept it? It's an opportunity of a lifetime, I guess, right?
Introducing the challenger from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And her opponent from Dallas, Texas, the Women's Global Champion.
Well, Ayla Quinn, I don't understand why she's putting so much on the line here right now, but our main event for tonight will be Ayla Quinn, who is half beaten up, if not 70 to 80% beaten up. She looks like she's barely staying alive with her all wrapped up in bandages, half ready to leave the arena, but she makes the choice to come out here. She's still got bruises all over her. Kiara's question ready. But nonetheless, we are underway. I don't understand quite why she's making this decision. I don't know if I honor it or if I think it's stupid, but I guess we were saying the same thing about Ayla back in year 3, huh? When she was facing Alpha. And if we learned everything, if we learned anything from that, I don't know. Ayla's not the kind of person to just sit back and let things happen. Apparently, at least. So, we're going to take matters into our own hands, and I guess that has to do with trying to win the title tonight, but she can't even stand one move, and she's just down for so long. Kiara's got a job to do. That's to defend her title, whether or not she feels bad about it. Rolling elbow, down goes Ayla. You're in for a potentially depressing main event tonight. Ayla barely could get back to her feet, but Kiara probably is just going to try to end this as quickly as possible. Kiara considers her a friend, even if maybe not as vice versa. So you gotta do what you gotta do just to end this thing. Sunrise STO. Down goes Ayla. And you can see Kiara does not exactly feel great about this. She's gotta do it regardless. From the corner. Sunrise! Super kick! Kiara Carter, I think deep down knows that still might not even be enough. So why not a Project Misfit? Just to make sure that she doesn't kick out. There it is. Project Mystic. Covered by Kiara. Whoa! 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 Wait a minute! Ayla kicks out regardless. I don't really know how, but she stays alive. Kiara just seems confused, and she goes knee first to the turnbuckle. Big rolling elbow by Ayla. The hell! Back up to her feet! Ayla striking off with everything she's got! With Kiara right back the other way! Even if Ayla's getting a tiny bit of offense, it just ultimately doesn't seem to matter. She catches herself right back in the same position, but a counter, she throws Kiara in the corner! Angel Cry! Landed on Kiara from the corner! Ayla! Angel Cry again! To the spine! Back to her feet. What the hell? Ayla on the top rope. Could be looking for the fallen Angel. But Kiara sends her away. She jumps off the top. One man! Fallen Angel! Out of nowhere! Ayla with the cover! No! A kick out! Oh my goodness! Finding at least a little bit of energy from a mostly beaten up body here. Kiara though, maybe she's starting to get a little frustrated. But I want you to stay down. You're not gonna win this and you know it. So why are you fighting regardless? Big moonsault by Carter, and she's got her back up to her feet again. Kiara from behind, German suplex for good measure. Ayla gets crushed, and now Kiara right back up in a powerbomb position. Carter could be looking for another Project Mystic, but Ayla with the right to escape it. Oh, Angel's Cry! Ayla falls hard to the ground, trying to pull herself back up to her feet with the rope. Ayla does get back up, and now to the outside of the ring, to the top rope. Ayla from the heavens, counter by Kiara, power bomb from the skies, a fallen angel failure, Dizzy Knight. Ayla Quinn called for the joy. But Ayla looks at the backside and goes for the leg. She gets out of it just in time. Oh my God! Angel cry again! You gotta be kidding me! Covered by Ayla! For the win! And the global title! Kiara kicks out at 2! But Ayla, she's not done, she's not letting up, but she can't have that much energy left after all of this to the top rope. Kiara with the right, trying to throw her off the top, Ayla doesn't let it happen, and she gets ground and pound! Ayla filled with rage to the apron, and now back up to the top again, but Kiara's back up again. She keeps going for the fall, and Angel can't land it. Kiara counters with the knee. Oh, and a back kick. A spinning heel kick. You know she was trying to go for that fallen Angel again, much like the first time she hit it this match. But Kiara learned from that, did not let it happen. She goes to the top as well. Ayla Quinn's there waiting for her. From the top, from a judgment, get out of midair! Ayla with the counter to take her own move! But Kiara kicks out at 2, just in time! But Ayla's not done, utilizing everything she has! Kick to the midsection, and she's seriously gonna try trading blows with her! She doesn't have the energy for this! A counter by Kiara, and a chop! Another counter on the right! And a shot by Kiara. Ayla just does not stand a chance in a striking game like that. Dizzy Knights is blocked though. Big forearm to the face, blocks though. Angel's cry attempt. Kiara looking for a block, just missed it. But Ayla counters out of midair. Right hand to the skull. From behind, whoa, looking for Halo Snapper. Kiara's able to counter. A big boot moves out of the way. And now Ayla goes for a German, but she's rolled up by Kiara. Uh-oh, not the roll-up. She's 0-2 to the roll-up. Ooh, back the other way. Ayla's able to reverse it. And another one by Kiara's able to go back the other way. Covered by Kiara. Kiara wins! Oh no! Oh no!
Here is your winner, and still Women's Global Champion.
Well, I don't think anybody thought Ayla was going to win that match, but the fact that she just lost again to a roll-up. She's 0-3 to roll-ups, man. It's like a curse. Kiara Carter retained. But Ayla fought her goddamn heart out. I don't know why she did this, but I don't know. I respect her for trying, but damn, man. What a retention by the global champion. Once again, going in a house of horrors. Much familiar words from Casey Dick. Oh my God. And Katie Bell arrived out of nowhere. you. Genuinely thank you. What a sick son of a bitch. But you have to imagine it's probably her plan to draw one of them out here. Katie Bell's not that stupid. We've seen it. Casey Dixon. Oh! What the hell? And a headbutt to Katie Bell! No words need to be spoken from Casey Dixon! German suplex to counter! Alpha back to her face! And a huge Oxford turnpike! I guess he did a Minneapolis turnpike! Casey Dixon to the top rope! Oh God, look at her spear mouth! Katie Bell just leaps to the top like he was nothing! Did she not just get dropped? Oh no! Oh my God! Brainbuster on the top turn! Oh no, 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 no! This is exactly her plan! It was the draw! Oh God, I was to both of them out here! Look at her smiling! This is exactly what Katie wanted! What is she doing? Why is she freeze? Oh no! Gracie Lewis froze! It's almost like she's seeing a damn ghost! Oh my God, she froze! Gracie Lewis is terrified! I can't blame her, but holy shit! You gotta get somebody to check on her!